Hello everyone, I am Chintan Joshi from Nalanda Vidyalay, Virpar Morbi, and today in subject Business Studies, chapter number 2, Principles of Management, we are going to discuss about techniques of scientific management by Taylor. Total we have 4 techniques. Today we are going to discuss first 2 techniques of scientific management, and rest of 2 techniques we will discuss in the next session. Let me have the list of all 4 techniques of scientific management by Taylor. Number 1, functional foremanship. Number 2, standardization and simplification of work. Number 3, work study method. Number 4, differential piece wage system. Let me have discussion of first 2 techniques of scientific management today. Before we go for the first technique, let me recall a topic from chapter number 1, that is levels of management. In the chapter number 1, we have seen about different levels of management, over where total 3 levels were there. Number 1, top level management. Number 2, middle level management. And number 3, supervisory or operational level management. We have seen in the third level of supervisory or operational level management about different designations that can be called as foremen, line managers, in charge, supervisors, etc. So let we start our first technique of scientific management, functional foremanship. Why we recall our first chapter? In previous chapter, we have learnt that the operational level of management is responsible for effective and efficient implementation of plans. The operational level managers are responsible for planning and production process, achieving desired production targets, and controlling floor activities to minimize wastage and cost. Thus, Taylor concentrated on improving the performance at operational level in the factory. If the operational level management is strong enough, the implementation part will be more effective and efficient. Taylor identifies the qualities required in a good supervisor and realized that it would be difficult to find all qualities in one individual. We know that it is not possible that all the desired qualities of a good supervisor can be have with one individual. Therefore, Taylor advocates the separation of planning and execution at supervisory level. Taylor suggests that each and every qualities cannot be have in one supervisor. So separate all the supervisor with specialized qualities. Therefore, he developed functional foremanship. Under functional foremanship, Taylor suggested that planning and production in the factory should be managed by separate in charge working under factory managers. So that he classified factory manager into two parts with two different in charges. First is planning in charge and second is production in charge. He classified planning in charge into four sub-classification. Number 1, instruction card clerk. Number 2, routine clerk. Number 3, time and cost clerk. Number 4, disciplinarian clerk. Into another part of production in charge, he again have sub 4 classification with number 1, speed boss. Number 2, gang boss. Number 3, repair boss. Number 4, inspector. These sub 2 classification of factory manager or sub 4 classification of planning in charge and production in charge will supervise or will monitor over the workman. So we can say that over the workman there will be total 8 in charges. Let we have the main functions or responsibilities of these 8 in charges. First of all, let we have planning in charge. Into that, number 1, instruction card clerk. He will draft instruction for the workers. What will be the duties of instruction clerk? He is responsible to draft instructions for the workers. What the workers have to do will be instructed or will be drafted by instruction card clerk. Number 2, route clerk. Route clerk will specify the production route, how the workers are going to do production. That will be specified by route clerk. Number 3, time and cost clerk. Time and cost clerk will prepare time and cost sheet for the workers. What should be the ideal time and what should be the effective cost will be decided by him. Number 4, disciplinarian. He will maintain discipline in the factory. This person, this in charge is responsible the discipline aspect over the workers. Second parameter, that is production in charge. Into that, number 1, speed boss. Speed boss is responsible to complete the job accurately and timely. Number 2, gang boss. Gang boss is responsible to keep machine and tools ready for the operations. Number 3, repair boss. Repair boss will be responsible for keeping the machine and tools in the proper working conditions. If it is not in a proper conditions, repair boss will be responsible to keep it in a proper way. And last one is inspector. Inspector will responsible to check and maintain quality of the work. So over here we can say that Taylor has classified functional foremanship technique into main two part of factory, that is planning in charge and production in charge, and he again did 8 sub-classification of these two. Technique number 2, that is standardization and simplification of work. First of all, let we have about standardization. Standardization refers to setting standards for each business activity. It can be process, raw material, time, product, machinery, method, or working conditions. Standards are the benchmarks followed during production to achieve the following objectives. Number 1, to produce product of fixed type, size and characteristics. Number 2, it establishes interchangeability of manufactured parts and products. Number 3, it established standards to excellence and quality in materials. Number 4, to establish standards of performance for man and machine. So in the part of the standardization, we can say that there are some standard that should be set off in the each and every business activity, so that we can go for the better production aspects. Second one is simplification of work. Simplification of work is aiming to eliminate surplus, extra or surplus work. Varieties, size, dimensions and diversity of products. Simplification leads to optimum utilization of resources. It increases production. It lowers labor and overhead cost and lesser stock levels. So technique number 2, that is standardization and simplification of work. Standardization of work guides that which kind of standard should be set off for each and every business activity, and simplification of work realize which kind of work can be simplified to have optimum utilization of resources with minimization of cost or overheads and maximization of profit. We have discussed about first two techniques of scientific management in today's session. In our next session, we will discuss rest of 2 techniques. Thank you.